Definitely still divisive. And like it or not, it is still spreading everywhere. To Michigan Attorney General Mike Cox, who says that he sides with Arizona, calls the judge's ruling a slap in the face to citizens trying to protect their borders. He's trying to do the same on his. So, Mr. Attorney General, where does this stand for you now? What are you going to do?
Well, once again, we're going to talk to Governor Brewer. We have a coalition of 9 states that are ready to go to bat with Arizona to defend the concept of state sovereignty. And, of course, the idea that Arizona should be able to step up and defend themselves and their borders when the federal government refuses to.
Now, that seems to be her sort of premise in this expedited appeal she's got going to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, I believe, in San Francisco. And she is more or less acknowledging, no, you're quite right, Uncle Sam. I don't have the power to do this when it should be the federal government's job. But she is also saying, but the federal government isn't doing the job, so I had to step in. Now, you're a pretty good lawyer in your own right. You know how black and white judges can be on such issues. Right. How will this go down?
Well, Neil, I don't know that she said we can't do this in our own right, we being Arizona. States have concurrent jurisdiction. In fact, federal law, this thing called Section 1373, says that the Attorney General shall cooperate with states when they're trying to check out whether someone's illegal or not.
Well, let me just quote, sir, if you don't mind. She says, if the federal government wants to be in charge of illegal immigration and they want no help from states, it then needs to do its job. Arizona would not be faced with this problem if the federal government honored its responsibilities. Do you think then, sir, ultimately this rests on that notion the federal government has so dropped the ball that states like Arizona, like yours, if you have your way, and 8 others who are working with you have their way, that the Uncle Sam has dropped it, and it's up to you guys to do it.
Absolutely. It's sort of like the hapless Detroit Lions, which I'm a big fan of. When they don't stop the rushers, Matthew Stafford has to scramble and make his own play. And that's what Governor Brewer in Arizona has had to do. By the federal government's own estimates, close to 500,000 illegal immigrants in this one state. 1 out of 10 or 11 people who are in the state. It's a huge burden for their Medicaid, for schools, for social services. And the irony is Judge Bolton yesterday said, we're going to stop Arizona from doing this because it puts too much of a burden back on the federal government. That's really Alice in Wonderland sort of logic, and I'm confident the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, despite the fact of being very liberal, are going to overturn this judge.
Is it your impression that this is ultimately going to go to the Supreme Court?
I think it absolutely will. Neil, since 1984 in a case called Salinas Gordon out of Kansas, federal courts have said that local state officials can arrest or detain illegal immigrants or people they reasonably suspect to be illegal immigrants and check with the INS or check with ICE. That's been federal law since 1984. What Arizona has done is not that much more, it's not a big step from where the federal law already was. So I expect it will, especially since it's a very important matter where our borders have become so porous, and we see the specter in Juarez, already 4,000 murders right across the border from El Paso, already 4,000 murders there this year. We shouldn't forget that Arizona has tolerated illegal immigration for a long time. It's only when this wave of violence has started to come north that they've stood up this way.
All right. Attorney General, thank you very much. Very good seeing you.
Thank you, Neil.
So Buslo's heading to Arizona.